Hello everybody and welcome to Miguel's Garage. Today I'm going to be lowering the suspension, the coilovers on this car. I want to bring it down about 1 inch on the rear to kind of match the front. What you're looking at right now is the front tires. So it's a pretty simple process. I'm going to walk you through it. You can see here I have a pretty big gap. It's about 2 inches. Previously it was raised simply because there was some rubbing issues. But I'm going to bring it down about 1 inch to kind of match the front. And let's get into that. The first thing you're going to want to do is take measurement of this gap here on both sides. You want to make sure that you have the same gap and that you understand how much you want to lower the car before you even begin. Currently I have about 2 inches here, so I want to bring this down to about 1 inch. Okay, so once you do that, jack the car up safely. Then remove your wheels. Then you want to make sure you take your union mandated break every 3 to 5 minutes. After you remove your wheel, you're going to want to take the measurement from the spawner locking nuts here to up here. You can use a measuring tape or a caliper gauge if you have one. I'm seeing 4.3, 4.4. I'm going to want to bring that down to 3.4. At this time you wanted to take the measurement on the other side as well. You want to do the same thing for each side of the car. Now for the purposes of today, all I want to do is lower the ride height. I do not want to change the spring load. So I'm not going to be touching these two locking nuts here. What they basically are is, think of this as a bolt, and these two are nuts that you will lock against each other, okay? And that's how they hold the spring load. And the same happens into this tube here. So this is how you adjust the ride height. This bolt, think of this as a bolt, goes into the sleeve. When you rotate it one way, it goes down. If you rotate it the opposite way, it goes up. Okay, so I've measured both sides and they're pretty consistent. So now what I want to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a penetrating oil, just because I see a lot of dirt and crap in here. So that should help with any kind of dirt, rust and whatnot. Then you want to take the appropriate tool based on the size of the locking nut, and you want to loosen this up. And to loosen up, you will go this way. To tighten it, you will go that way. There you go. You might have to hold the actual strut itself. It really depends. Sometimes they're tight and won't move. Sometimes they move very easily. So you don't want that to be moving too much and playing around with your adjustments. You just remove this tie rod. It's put here for safety reasons. That'll help keep the nut from moving up too far up. So I'll just install a new one after I'm done. So then you want to move the nut enough to allow you to bring the car down to the distance you want, which in my case is going to be about 1 inch. What I'm looking to have is 3.4 inches. So if I go here, I should be getting close, and I am. And that seems to be about right. Now, if you cannot move this tower by hand, so first of all, you gotta know your rotational, right? If you want to rotate it this way, it'll bring it down. If you rotate it the other way, it'll bring it up. If you cannot rotate it by hand, sometimes they do tend to get pretty hard from use. Then you want to use the different tools here. If you want to bring it down, you use the top locking nut. Again, remember this, think of this as a long bolt where you have put two nuts against each other, right? This is the same thing. So you don't want to loosen up the spring load. You just want to use that to bring this whole bolt in here. In this case, it's working well for me by hand, so I'll keep doing that. Okay, so I've brought down all the distance that I needed to. Now I'm gonna measure up and make sure that I'm where I need to be. And I am. So then what you want to do is, to finish, you want to lock this nut again, okay? And it's very important that this is secure. If this becomes loose, you could find yourself in a very dangerous situation. So you want to make sure this is very secure and tighten. Okay, and what I'm going to do is replace this tie wrap. And then what you want to do is survey the wheel. You want to put the wheel back on and see if it fits properly. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this stuff a bit. Nothing too crazy, but at least it's clean. Then you want to make sure you take your break every 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'm going to survey the wheel and see if it is where I need it to be. Okay, and there you have it. I dropped the car, and I now have right about 1 inch on that space. It's a little bit lower, I think, than what I was looking for, about 1/4 inch. But we'll see. If it rubs, then I'll bring it back up. Make sure that you torque your wheel lug nuts. If you don't have a torque wrench, get one. If not, gauge it. But it's important to torque them to specifications. I normally try to torque mine right around 100 pounds. It's a little bit over what it's recommended by the manufacturer, but that's what I prefer. So I took the car out for a spin, test drive, just to see if it would rub, and this side is too close for my comfort. The other side is not. It's pretty good actually. It's right where I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna have to readjust the other side. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, give me a comment, give me a sign of life, would ya? Thank you. Bye-bye.